everybody, welcome back to This Provincial Life. My name is Crystal and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This is the companion novel to My Lady Jane, which is a part of the Lady Janies series. And what they do is they take a famous Jane and they retell the story in a fantastical way. So My Lady Jane is about Lady Jane Grey, and it brings in some fantastical elements. If you haven't picked that up, I definitely recommend it. You don't, however, need to pick up My Lady Jane before picking up My Plain Jane because they talk about separate Janes. So My Plain Jane talks about Jane Eyre, which is a famous classic love story, and which happens to be my all-time favorite classic and probably one of my all-time favorite books. I came into this very excited, and one of the main things about this series is that it's very quirky. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's kind of a comedy in a way where it kind of brings in some elements of some fantasy that kind of makes some of the decisions in the real stories a little bit more interesting and intriguing. And the narrators are very fun and quirky, and they remind me very much of the Hercules muses from the Disney's Hercules, where they're like, oh, hold on, let's back up, let's try this again, okay, oh. And I talk about this a lot in my readathon vlog. I'll link it up above. So this one, I'm going to talk about the 4 things I like to talk about. So character development, pacing, plot, and writing style. Those are the 4 things that really make a story for me. And so the character development, I mean, they kind of just piggybacked off of the character development of Jane Eyre, so it was good. You know, you get to see Jane make all of these decisions throughout her life. And I liked Rochester. And then there were a few other side characters that I absolutely loved. I'm not going to tell you their names because it is kind of fun to find these characters on your own. But if you have read this and you want me to talk more about that, you can watch my spoiler review of this because I will be going into which characters I really liked and why I liked them and why I didn't like others as much. But yes, the character development was there. It was fun. They improved. They learned more about themselves and about people around them. So for the pacing, I felt like it was very enjoyable, very fast-paced, very easy to read. It's definitely not a really hard-thinking book. It's just fluffy. And every once in a while, I like those books. I like books that just kind of take me on a journey, but they don't take themselves too seriously. So the writing style is very quirky. So on the front cover, you can see it has little quips. This is very common throughout the entire story, and it just talks about, they'll say some little funny anecdotes or be like, oh, this is important or this isn't important. It made for a fun read. So the plot moved along well, but like I said, it piggybacks the Jane Eyre plot. So it's just about Jane Eyre trying to figure out who she is as a person, what she wants to do with the rest of her life, and how to define herself without being in love and without being married, because in this day and age, women are their value and their self-worth is all wrapped up in marriage, and if they can be appealing to other men that have money so they can survive and carry on the legacy or whatever, and so that's one of the main reasons I love Jane Eyre, the actual classic, because it is about her learning to define herself as a woman and as a person without bringing in marriage. Overall, I did enjoy this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I would pick it up if you were in the mood for something light and easy to read, or if you don't read very much and you don't want to get a really heavy book that takes you a long time. It is quite a long book, but it reads very quickly. I would expect people to finish this in a couple of days. It's very fun, quirky. If you enjoy watching quirky comedy-based films such as The Princess Bride or like Robin Hood Men in Tights. Those types of things where it's just like it's not meant to be taken seriously. I would recommend this. So hopefully everything goes well. Okay, bye.